Let's make it not cool to be stupid. Let's make it cool to be a good person. I'm tired of it being cool to be a murderer or a shooter or just this irrelevant being. Like, that shit is stupid.
This past decade saw a great boom in hip-hop. While this era was mostly pop-dominated, still, some rappers came and claimed that high spot on the top 100 charts, which their genre deserved. What's heartbreaking is that in the same decade where rap got so much recognition, especially in the young generation, the world lost so many artists who created this art. What's even sadder is that rappers are still not as looked after as artists of other genres, even when time has proved again and again that they usually come from the most dire circumstances. Before we get started, make sure to leave a like and comment on this video. Guru was one half of the rapper duo Gang Starr. He started gaining recognition in the 80s, and by the 90s he was one of the most respected rappers in the community. On the 19th of April 2010, his fans got the devastating news of his passing. The rapper was fighting cancer bravely, but couldn't beat the disease. Heavy D. Heavy D was a prominent rapper in the 90s. He formed a group called Heavy D and the Boys, where he was the only rapper in the group. On the 8th of November 2011, Heavy D fell unconscious outside of his house in Beverly Hills. He was battling many serious health conditions at the time, including cardiac issues. Doctors later revealed the cause of his death to be pulmonary embolism. This happens when a blood clot has traveled to the lungs. Lil Peep. Gustav Elijah R., aka Lil Peep, was born on the 1st of November 1996. He became a hit as soon as he started uploading his music on SoundCloud. Lil Peep is most credited for giving rise to the emo rap sound in the 2010s. Peep is the prime example of talented rappers not being looked after by the music industry. His management knew about his depression and still chose to ignore it. Then on the 15th of November 2017, the worst happened, and the news of his demise came as a shock to his fans. He was about to perform at a concert in Arizona. His fans had come to see him, but after reaching the venue, they heard that he had become a victim of a fatal overdose. His autopsy revealed his Xanax was heavily coated with fentanyl, which is an extremely dangerous drug. This caused his death, as even a little amount of fentanyl is enough to kill a person, and Peep had consumed a large amount of it. XXXTentacion. José Dwayne Ricardo Onfroy, more commonly known as XXXTentacion, was a very controversial public figure from the beginning. His rise to success was rapid, but his dark side also couldn't stay hidden for much longer. He had a history of violent crimes, especially related to women abuse. On the 18th of June 2018, someone shot Dwayne in Florida, and he succumbed to the wounds. His songs are still gaining new fans every day, and he's left behind a legacy much bigger than him. Jimmy Wopo. Trevon Deshaun Frank Smart, more famously known as Jimmy Wopo, was one of the crew members of Wiz Khalifa. His songs Elm Street and Elm Street 2 paved the way for him to become a notable rapper. His journey was cut short when the 21-year-old was gunned down on the 18th of June 2018. He got killed in a drive-by shooting incident. He was with another person who also got shot with him, but survived when he was taken to the nearby hospital. Jimmy was still alive when the paramedics came, but when he got to the hospital, he couldn't hold on much longer. Jimmy's manager broke the news to his fans. He posted a note on Facebook to confirm that he indeed had been killed. His note read, "I lost my brother today, and it's the worst feeling in the world. He was destined for greatness, and he wanted the best for his friends, family, and community. We lost a great person today, but just know I will do everything in my power to make his memory live on forever. Love you, bro. Hashtag long live Wopo." Mac Miller. Mac Miller was one of the most sought-after rappers of the 2010s. He was the guy everyone wanted to collaborate with. Just like Lil Peep, Mac had also hinted at his problems with drugs and alcohol. He was even arrested for drunk driving in 2018. He was in a relationship with Ariana Grande, and following their split, things got extremely complicated for him. Mac also became a victim of a drug overdose on the 7th of September 2018 and lost his life. Juice WRLD. Juice WRLD was the up-and-coming rapper in 2019. He had been steadily releasing his songs, and 2019 was the year where his songs were being displayed on charts. He was featured with more underrated artists like him, and the results were showing. But on the 8th of December 2019, his fans got the news of him overdosing on powerful painkillers. He was at the airport when he got the seizure, and by the time he reached the hospital, it was already too late. The rapper had quite the following at the time of his demise, but he also gained a lot of new fans, who only listened to him after he passed away. His songs, which were released posthumously, topped the charts, showing that had he been alive, he would have ruled the genre. Nipsey Hussle. Ermias Joseph Asghedom, more famously known as Nipsey Hussle, was one of the most respected rappers. Nipsey was special because he wasn't just a rapper, he was an activist and entrepreneur as well. His fan following wasn't as monstrous as some of his peers, but his fans were loyal. On the 31st of March 2019, someone shot him in broad daylight outside of his LA store. Nipsey died on the spot, sending his fans in the industry in mourning. Before his death, he had subtly mentioned in interviews that he was gaining the reputation of being a snitch, which loosely translated that someone always had him at their target. People realized the depth in his music after he was gone. His song sales increased 900% more after his death. DMX. DMX was one of the biggest names in the rap industry in the late 90s and early 2000s. He brought a more loud and gruff style, which represented his New York roots. He was the only rapper besides Tupac who had 2 #1 albums in the same year. His album, It's Dark and Hell is Hot, is now given the status of a classic. Fans were aware of DMX's addiction issues, but since his overdose in 2016, it looked like he might have left drugs for good. He was looking healthy and was talking a lot about spirituality. This is why the news of his overdose came as a shock to his fans. His reps were constantly giving updates on his health. He was brought to the hospital in a vegetative state and suffered a massive cardiac arrest. On the 9th of April 2021, the news of his demise broke out, leaving millions across the world completely shattered. Lil Marlow. Rudolph Johnson, aka Lil Marlow, was an Atlanta rapper. He came into the limelight after releasing 5 mixtapes: 2 The Hard Way, The Wire, Ninth Ward God, The Real One, and First and Third. He was more of an underground rapper and joined a record label much later than most of the rappers. He truly was done with the street life and wanted to try his luck in an alternate career. Sadly, he got killed in a targeted shooting on 11th of July 2020. He was in his car behind the wheel while someone shot him. The police received the call about an accident on Atlanta Highway. When paramedics arrived, they checked him and pronounced him dead on the scene. To this day, the investigation is going on, but no possible suspect names have come up yet. King Vaughn. King Vaughn had only been in the game for a year, but still, he managed to make a name for himself with songs like Back Again. Davon Daquan Bennett, aka King Vaughn, had quite a troublesome childhood. His run-ins with the law were only getting more dangerous with time. He was even accused of shooting and killing a person, but later got acquitted in that case. On the 6th of November 2020, he was in a club in Atlanta, and when he came outside, someone shot him. He couldn't survive the wounds and was declared dead after some time. King's burial took place on the 15th of November, which was attended by his family and close friends. With that, we've come to the end of this video. We know this list has honored only a handful of rappers. Do comment below the names of more rappers that have left behind a legacy which can't be matched. Let us know your thoughts on the whole video below. Also, don't forget to leave a like on this video, and if you're new to this channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button for all future content. Thanks for watching, until next time.